Today is day 65 of 100 Random Acts of Kindness. As I was getting ready to record, I noticed a few amazing things about my face. I am having a hot flash. You can see that. B, my skin is just, I don't know, it's just angry. I have developed over the last few years, it kind of looks like I ate like chocolate ice cream, but it's this sweet, like line of freckles that appears very much in the summer. It's kind of like a lip liner, but it's not in a nice pattern. And I rarely wear makeup, so it looks just like, I don't know how many times last summer he said, I think you have something on your lip. I'm like, oh geez. And then I look in the mirror, I'm like, nope, just permanent. My tooth, obviously. And these are all great things to thank cancer for. And if you notice here, this sweet bald patch that only looks less bald because my hair's growing in, which I'm getting colored next week, I think. But it is like, I wish you could see how little hair I am picking up there. My last 2 trials were not supposed to thin my hair. And you can ask like my mom or a few of my friends or my aunt how thick my hair used to be. And I used to have like a big, big ponytail. And now it's like, honestly, tiny, tiny, tiny. My eyebrows are like, those are exceptionally full, dark eyebrows right now, I will tell you. When really I have very little. Anyway, that's not the point. I just, sometimes when I pull up the camera, it's like, oh geez, have I ever changed? And obviously the weight gain is just ridiculous. Cold sore number 1, cold sore number 2 from the last trial. Anyway, I digress. I'm froggy. But I have to fast for this blood test today. It's at 1 o'clock, which was my doing because I have a conference call today. So I can't have anything like warm or, just to try to kind of help. So I've got 3 bottles of water behind the camera, just trying to pound them to get rid of whatever is going on here. Okay, all that's out of the way. I woke up this morning, actually before I went to bed last night, it was midnight. I texted one of my good friends, Julie. It's her 34th birthday today. Birthdays are very important to me and increasingly important as I don't know how many more I'll see. But for Julie and I, they've both been very important our whole lives. Leah is the 30th of June, Julie is the 10th of July, and I'm the 14th of August. So the 3 of us for many summers while we were growing up would go out for lunch in the summer. And when you're in, I don't know, grade 7 to grade 10, I don't know, however old you are when you're allowed to go for lunch with your friends by yourself, grade 6 to grade 10, I don't know when it ended. We would meet up in the summer, which isn't always the case because you don't have your license, and we would go for a birthday lunch, which was always a nice tradition that we had and had many laughs. And I won't embarrass Julie with one particular brutal lunch. But yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. And because our birthdays are all within a month and a half, it was really appropriate. And then as we grew up, actually Jenny is the 10th of August and I'm the 14th. So then our birthdays started morphing together. So when we were old enough to go out drinking, we would get together and celebrate our birthdays. And we did that for many years. Like, birthdays are really important to me. And I know they're equally important to Julie. So I texted her at midnight last night and said, it's official. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. So we've been talking today. So as soon as I woke up this morning, I thought, I know exactly what I'm going to do my random act of kindness about. So I was diagnosed in 2011. I had to quit working. And I had graduated university 18 months before. I was on a career path. I was applying everywhere. I had 3 degrees in education. I was very passionate about education as I am today. So I was like on a push. I wasn't working in education and I really liked my job. And I always had a lot of balls in the air and I liked it that way. I had a decent amount of responsibility. And again, I enjoy that. I enjoy a little challenge and stress and like good stress. I've got enough stress in my life that isn't good stress. So 2011 comes around. I'm talking to my doctor, and I said, like, how much time do I need off? And I think a lot of us do this. We don't really understand. It's like, well, can we wrap this up in like a month? Like surgery, chemo, rads. Like, can we get out of here? And she just looked at me and she said, you need at least a year off. I was like, a year? Who has time to take a year off? Anyway, and then I understood a little more as time went on why you need a minimum of a year. But anyway, some people are able to work through it. My doctor knew that I was not one of those cases. So, summer of 2011, Julie, well, it was before that, it was spring of 2011, Julie contacts me and she said, I'm not, like, this isn't really up for debate. We're having a benefit for you. And she said, you aren't working and cancer is expensive and this is happening. And so it did. And she is, like I say, I'm an organized person. I'm chopped liver compared to her. She can tell you, like, this many people, how many drinks, how many beers, how many wines, how many sandwiches, how many brownies. Like, she knows her event organization stats. And so, honestly, she'd be like an amazing wedding planner or event planner, or she would just be absolutely incredible. And the thing is, she threw a bridal shower for me. She's excellent, like detail oriented. I don't know, this isn't a promo for her. She doesn't have a business or anything, but I'm just telling you, she's amazing. So as if that wasn't enough, I'm diagnosed then stage 4. And that was, I can't even express to you how helpful the people who walked through those doors who I hadn't seen. So at that point I was 26. We graduated when we were 18. The people who had walked through those doors, who she had stayed in contact with and extended invitations, who I hadn't seen in years, I was just, I couldn't believe it. And I got up and spoke, and I specifically said, I really hope that if any of you guys are going through this shit, that I'm there for you, because the support here in this room is unbelievable, unreal, the people who showed up. The music was a local band who just, will play for her. Well, not for me. It's not like they serenaded me all night, but we'll play for the event for her. My dad is quite an accomplished drummer. My brothers are quite accomplished musicians. They got up and played. I sang Have a Little Help from My Friends. Joe Cocker. I should have looked that up. I want to say that's who it is. It was amazing. It was an amazing night. I was bald, had a wig by the end of the night. Or it was just a pink wig. Everybody was trying it on. Like, it was just an amazing night. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Julie. So fast forward to stage 4 diagnosis. And she said, my mother-in-law, who luckily enough, kind of like I was saying yesterday, we're from a small town. And I had a bit of a relationship with her mother-in-law. She's just another incredible human being. She did the 100 Days of Katie. We met at Christmas, had a nice cup of Christmas whatever drink, non-alcoholic, unfortunately, but like tea or whatever it was, chai tea or something, and just chatted. She's just this lovely human. So Julie contacts me and says, what do you think of this? She called. I don't know if she'd be okay with me saying her name. I want to say her name, but I just don't know sometimes with videos that I'm about to publish on YouTube. So I won't say her name. She called. So Julie said, my mother-in-law called, and she's thinking of doing a woman show. She's wanted to do this for a long time, and having vendors that are applicable to every woman. So it's not necessarily a senior show. It's not a woman show or a wedding show, a baby show. It's just a woman show. It's just everything from fashion to hair to makeup to nails to Tupperware to 31 to prepackaged food like meals, quilts. Oh my gosh, these beautiful quilts. I'm trying to go around the room. A fashion show extraordinaire from local businesses. It was unbelievable. I've never been to a fashion show like that before. It was stunning. local bridal store, and then local women's clothing and shoe store. It was like out of this world. My like family participated in it, friends participated in it. There was a silent auction. Like this thing was amazing. Anyway, so she calls and she says she wants to do this for you. And the proceeds would go to you and Keith. I think that's just what I did, actually. It's so hard to compute this kind of stuff anymore, I find. It's so difficult to, like, I'm sorry, what do you want to do for me? Like, why? I feel so unworthy of it very often. Oof. Because, like, what did I do to deserve this, you know? So anyway, they picked a date and picked this beautiful venue, and they had this show. And the amount of people who volunteered, the amount of people who like volunteered their time, volunteered their money, their energy, their planning, the vendors who donated the money back that they made, any proceeds that they made, it was like out of this world. I had girlfriends doing my makeup that day. I had a girlfriend doing my makeup, a girlfriend doing my hair. Local media came out, which is amazing to get. I'm losing my words a lot this morning. Like visibility of somebody young who's dealing with metastatic breast cancer specifically. Like it was just an out of this world, unbelievable. Like I don't think Keith and I either didn't talk on the drive home or made a lot of like sounds because we were just in such awe. And then when I would try to thank Julie's mother-in-law, she's one of those people. No, I don't want, please don't give me, like, no, I want to do this. Like, don't, she does not want any recognition. She doesn't do it for that. She does it because she wants to help. And she's just that kind of person. So, Julie, happy birthday. Thank you for everything. To your mother-in-law, I feel like I'm forever indebted to you. Just the amount of help that provides is so endless and has kind of helped us a little bit, helped us breathe with all the... I posted something yesterday. I will wrap up here, but I posted something yesterday on Twitter about the financial barriers that many cancer patients face. And what I think a lot of people don't realize is that having cancer in Canada, we do have universal health care. So often procedures, surgeries, appointments, chemo, radiation, anything kind of in between is covered. Except I'm about to start a new chemo that is not covered. And I think a lot of Canadians make the assumption that if you're in chemotherapy, you have coverage. And that's not necessarily the case, which is a slap in the face, to be totally honest. So Keith and I have private coverage through our employment. Keith's work said, yeah, we'll cover it. Mine said, well, you got to jump through a few hoops. So my oncologist is working on that right now. I mean, it better happen. Not on my oncologist's part. I know she's doing what she can, but that's pretty ridiculous here. Anyway, I won't go down that path. But I know I'm coming on 14 minutes. I'm going to try to stop at 15. But I was diagnosed at 26, 18 months after graduating university for the third time, meaning I had 3 degrees of student loans to pay off. Was off work in the last 7.5 years. I've been off work for about 5.5 of them, so worked about 2 of them. We bought a house in 2014, thinking that, not that I was in the clear, I knew I was never in the clear, but I was 3 years into remission and I felt good. 10 months later, I'm diagnosed, so all-inclusive rent has now turned into mortgage and home ownership and permanently not working for the rest of my life. And then we find out 9 days before our wedding that I'm terminal. So now we have a wedding to pay for. And there's no nest egg. There's no savings. I went to school for 6 years, university, for 6 years, trying to get to the point where I could help us make money, pay off my loans. Like, there was no way of obviously knowing any of this would happen. I was criticized online one time about saying, what about her savings? These millennials don't save anything. And I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to pay for 3 degrees and have hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings and not work and have cancer. Anyway, I obviously, that has stuck with me, but I knew that guy had no idea what he was talking about. So it's just, having these events have just been like kind of life-saving, to be totally honest. And we've been very, very fortunate to have friends and family who have been very generous with us. And without it, I don't know where we would be. I mean, I am a saver and a price matcher and a couponer, and I look for the best deals, and I'm not an impulse shopper, and I don't buy if we don't need it and all that stuff. But even with all of that, I think we have just been really, really blessed with the people who have been in our lives. So to Julie, happy birthday. And to your mother-in-law, I love you. Talk to you soon.